Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Manachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya Chakshurvidhamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to the second day session. ISKCON Mangaluru welcomes you to the second session of Bhagavad Gita in 18 days course. Okay, so today is a summary of Gita. Okay, contents of Gita summarized. Okay, let's see. So from in today's chapter, Krishna starts speaking for the first time, and it is an important chapter because Krishna speaks about the soul. So there's so many things in this chapter. It's a big chapter. So let's quickly go through the important points of this chapter. So just a recap. Let me see who all were sleeping in my class yesterday. What was the 5 reasons why Arjuna was not ready to fight? Please raise your hand, and admins, please unmute them. Yes. What are the reasons?
Unmuted, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Any one reason, 2 reasons, whatever you know, please.
No enjoyment.
Yes.
No enjoyment.
Sin. Family tradition.
Sin.
Indecision.
Yes.
Time tradition.
Time
tradition.
Yes.
Compassion.
Yes. Very good. So compassion, sin, no enjoyment, family traditions will be lost, and indecision. Compassion, no enjoyment, sin, family traditions will be lost, and indecision. Okay, so you all were right. Now let's go to today's chapter. So before knowing Atma, we should know who is Paramatma, right? Before knowing the soul, you should know the super soul. So to realize God, okay, when you think of God, some people think it's just light or some energy. No, but Bhagavad Gita says God is a person. Okay, now let's see how it is. So there are 3 stages to understand God. Okay, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi, Shabdede. So Brahman is the light. Okay, it's like an effulgence that's coming from the Lord's body, the effulgence or the light. Next is the realization of Paramatma, that yes, God is situated in my heart as the 400 feature of Lord. Okay, so Krishna is in your heart. Okay, so which is the sloka which says Krishna is in our heart, Riya? No, the sloka?
Sarvasya chaham.
Sing.
Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivisto matta smritinyana papohanam cha vedaisha sarvai ahameha vedyo vedanta kritveda videva chaham.
Very nice. Good. So it says Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sannivishtam. So Krishna says, I am there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So Krishna is in our heart as Paramatma, the super soul. He is the witness. Okay. And the last stage or the final stage, the ultimate stage of God realization is Bhagavan. That Lord is a person and is Bhagavan. Krishna's the Bhagavan Swayam. I'll explain to you. Okay. So someone raise hands. Okay. Who is a Dhanavan? Whom do you call a Dhanavan? What does he have? A Dhanavan has what? Yes. Yes, co-host, unmute. There are many people.
Unmuted, Mataji.
Who has more money? Dhanvan.
More money,
Who
very
has
good.
money?
Yes. So more money, that is Dhanavan. Who's Bhagyavan?
The one
Who is
who has
lucky?
luck.
Lucky.
luck.
Lucky, right? So if you have one qualities, like a person is very rich, you call him Dhanavan. Okay. So in material world, nobody can have all these things. Someone might be rich, he may not be having good education. Someone would be the most beautiful person, he may not be rich, he might be poor. So all these qualities are together in Lord. That's why he's called Bhagavan. Okay, so beauty. When it comes to beauty, Krishna is the most beautiful person in the whole creation. You can see Kantar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. So Krishna's beauty is like thousands of cupids get attracted to Krishna. Everyone gets attracted to Krishna. The term Krishna means all attractive, right? He attracts everyone. And richness, Krishna is the most richest. Why? Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Thousands of Lakshmis do service to Krishna. Okay. So he is the richest. Okay. And famous. Yes. So Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga. Okay. And he did his pastimes in Vrindavan. Okay. All that happened. And he said Bhagavad Gita. But still we are discussing, right? After 5,000 years, we are discussing. That means Krishna is so famous. When we die, people don't even remember us for like 20, 30 years or 100 years. We don't remember our grandparents. I don't even know their name, right? So we just forget them. But Krishna, like 5,000 years ago, he did his leelas and pastimes. We still remember. So that's so famous he is. Strength. Krishna lifted Govardhan hill with his left hand, pinky finger at the age of 7 for 7 days and 7 nights. Who can be more stronger than him? He's the strongest. Knowledge, Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham. All the Vedas were compiled by Krishna, who's Vyasdev incarnation, is Vyasdev as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. So he is Krishna himself and he wrote all the Vedas. Renunciation. Okay, so Krishna is not attached to anything. Okay, no karma binds Krishna. So renunciation. So all these are the 6 super qualities which Bhagavan has in full. Okay, Krishna has everything in full. Okay, so what was the quality of the guru we discussed yesterday? Anyone remembers? What was the quality of a nice guru? In the first chapter, we learned something. What was it? Anyone knows?
Please unmute people who have raised your hands. Hare Krishna.
What is
Yes.
the question, ma'am?
What is the quality of a guru? In the first chapter, we learned what a guru should be.
The one who listens first.
Yes, who listens to his disciples, right? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I told you, you have to listen more. So Krishna was an ideal guru, like because he listened to Arjuna in the whole first chapter. First chapter is an introduction, okay? So Krishna never spoke till now. He was listening. Now he starts speaking in the second chapter, second sloka. What does he say? Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jashtamasvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Okay, so Arjuna was having these 5 lamentations. Was Arjuna actually lamenting or was it something else? Right? So Krishna's Yogamaya was covering Arjuna. Arjuna is the most, strongest Kshatriya. Why should he lament? But Krishna, this is Krishna's arrangement. Krishna was, what was Krishna doing? His Yogamaya was covering, right? So he was making Arjuna feel lamenting so that Krishna can advise Bhagavad Gita. So this was Krishna's arrangement. But still, Krishna is saying, why are you thinking all these? Oh, I can't kill my cousins. I can't kill my teachers. It's sinful. Oh, I can't fight. And he sits down on the chariot, right? So Krishna is saying, what are you doing? This is not good for a Kshatriya. You should fight. Get up. and Krishna wanted to start speak. So before that, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Let's see. Karpanya dosho pahada swabhava prichami tvam dharma samudha cheta yashreyasya nishchidam brohitanme shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. So what is Arjuna saying? Oh Krishna, I'm surrendered to you. I'm a surrendered soul. I'm a disciple. Please instruct me. Okay. So this is what we should do. When we want to learn in Bhagavad Gita, we should accept a guru. We can't just learn it by ourselves. Right? When Mataji was saying she was having Bhagavad Gita with her for a long time. But unless we go in a disciplic succession, Guru Parampara, we won't be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. So it's very important to follow a guru. So what is Arjuna saying? Now I'm confused about my duty. I have lost all composure because of my surly weakness. Now in this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for you, for me, Shreyas. And now I'm a disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. Please instruct me. Right? When we have problems in life, we go to our seniors, we go to our parents, we go to our well-wishers, right? And they advise us. So before going to them, we should make up our mind to listen to them and accept what they say, right? Same way, Arjuna has decided, okay, now I'm going to surrender to Krishna. So he surrendered. Now what did Krishna do? Tam uvaja rishikesha prahassan iva bharata senayor upayor madhye vishidantam idam vachaha. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Okay, he was smiling. Krishna was smiling. He knows everything, right? He was very calm. Shri Bhagavan uvacha asosyan anvashochastvam pratnyavadamscha bhashase Gadasum akadasumscha nanashochanti panditaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning what is not worth of grief, right? So those who are wise never lament for those who are living or dead. Okay, see, so today's chapter, Krishna is going to tell us how to face death in life, right? So some people was asking me, how do you say Bhagavad Gita is a life manual? Yes, it is, because the first problem in life, right? We have 4 defects, 4 problems. What are they? Birth, death, old age, and disease, right? So we are born. Okay, the birth is also a problem. I'll tell you why. And then we get diseases. Then we become old, right? And we die. Everyone, right? Can anyone say in this whole class that I don't die? No, we all have expiry date. We all have to leave. We all have to leave this body. So Krishna is speaking about the soul. And this is the first life lesson in Bhagavad Gita, how to handle death of our near and dear ones, or how to face death, how to remove the fear of death from ourselves. Okay, and Krishna says that about body and soul in this chapter. So this is the important chapter. Please listen to it carefully so that you get a proper idea of the soul and everything. Okay, so who is wise will never lament for someone who's living or dead. We'll tell you why. Okay, so now Krishna again, he speaks everything about Atma. Natva evaham jatu nasham natvam neme janatipaha nachaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So Krishna just breaks atheism. So he says, some people say God doesn't exist, but Krishna says there was not a time when I did not exist. Krishna was there before the creation. He made this creation and he is there. He continues to exist. Okay, and even us, I'll tell you why. So we are not what we are thinking we are. Okay, you are not what you think you are. Okay, so now this is my hand, right? This is my hairs and nose and eyes. So who am I? Anyone can answer? Who am I actually? Am I this body? Am I this body? Who am I?
Yeah, simple, we are as a body only.
We are body. So,
Yes.
okay. So if you
the
say, okay, if you say we are this body, when someone dies, what happens? The body is there, right? What is the difference between a dead person and a living person? Rupesh.
That soul Difference is
the
the soul between. Yeah.
Yes, the soul leaves the body. So who are we? Soul. We are not the body. Okay, body is made up of, okay, I'll tell you why. Body is made up of the 5 elements, Panjabhutas, that is a fire, water, air, ether, and sky, or the earth. Okay, earth, fire, water, sky, or ether, you can call it air. Okay, so these are the 5 elements, material elements. But actually, we are not the body. This is my hand. This is my ears. Who am I? When my grandmother passed away, when I was small, I was asking my mother, what happened? Where's my grandmother? And she told my grandmother passed away. I was like, passed away? I mean, she left. Like she left. She's there lying on the floor, in the hall. Like she's there. Her body was there. So I was like, she's there. The mother's like, no, she died. I'm like, who died then? Okay, so later on, when that was in the smaller age, we don't know, right? Because we think false identify ourselves and others that they are this body. No, the Atma left the body, the soul left the body. That means when the soul was in the body, okay, that person was alive, and that the person who I refer to is the soul actually. Okay, the soul has left the body. The body is just made up of material elements. So we can't say we are this body. This body is just like a dress. Okay, so it is made up of 5 elements. But we are Atma, we are pure soul. Okay, so make it very clear, we have living things and non-living things, right? So living things like people, animals, plants, they grow. Why? Growth is a symbol of the presence of soul. A dead person can't grow, right? So the soul. So let's speak about soul. Now Krishna is telling Arjuna that we are soul. All of us are spirit soul. We are not the body. So Arjuna's fear of killing his cousins, everything, Krishna is just trying to remove all the fear from Arjuna by giving the first lesson in Bhagavad Gita that we are not this body. Now Corona is happening and so many people are leaving the body, and so many things are happening. People get depressed. They don't know how to face death. They're so scared, right, of death. But after listening to the second chapter carefully with devotion, you'll understand we don't have to be fearful. A devotee is never fearful of anything, even death. Okay, so for example, a car and a driver. Okay, I'm driving the car, I'm the driver. Now we have a car outside, the engine, the covering, right? So same way, our body is like a car or covering. Inside we have a soul which is driving the body. Okay, when my soul leaves the body, it's called dead body, just dead, right? It's no use, it's useless. Now, anyone knows where the soul is situated? Yes, where's the soul situated? In the body.
In the heart, ma'am.
Yes, in the heart. Very good. Soul is situated in the heart. Now, along with the soul, there is super soul also. So you understood the difference? Soul means Atma. Super soul means Paramatma, who's Krishna. So the soul and super soul resides together in the heart. Okay. Now, another example is bird in a cage. You can see a bird here in a cage outside. So the outside covering is like a body. Okay, inside that bird is the soul. So every day we clean the cage. Like every day we take bath with soap, water, shampoo, and get ready like anything. What about our soul? We're forgetting. We give food to the stomach, we get energy. Which food are we giving to the soul? We are forgetting our soul. Nobody wants spiritual life. Nobody likes it. Everyone is behind material enjoyment, sense gratification. Nobody is thinking about the soul, right? But we should always take care of the soul. In detail, I will explain this in tomorrow's chapter. What is the food for the soul? And chanting or the mantra meditation is so powerful in Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So we have a body, okay, made up of 5 elements. What are they? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Now we have a soul, which is Satchidananda, the part and parcel of Lord, okay, just very small. Now, in between that, there is something called subtle body, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay. Now, let me explain this sloka, then it will be very clear to you. Okay. So, did anyone learn the first chapter, first sloka, yesterday's homework? Who learned? Co-host, please unmute someone who learned.
Hare Krishna. Unmute.
Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavedayuhutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Anyone else? Abba, Dash. Yes, Abba.
Yes, ma'am. Om Bhagavad Gita Ada Pradamodaya Arjuna Vishada Yoga Uttara Uvacha Dharma Kurukshetra Samaveda Yuyutsaha Mamakaha Pandavasya Purvata Sanjaya.
You having network issue? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Yes.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Very good. Haribol. There's so many kids. Am I sitting in a kids class? So many kids have come. Okay. So second chapter, 13 sloka. Okay. So this is the sloka for today to memorize. So someone asked me, why are we memorizing? It's not different from Krishna. Okay. So it's very auspicious to recite Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So 2 chapter, 13 sloka. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada dehandara praptir dhirastatra namohyadi. So what's Krishna saying? Dehinosmin yada dehe. As the embodied soul, okay, process of in the body, like the body goes from Kaumaram Yavvanam Jara. Okay, when we are born, we have a small body, but as we grow, the body grows. But does the soul change? No, the soul is the same, right? So from boyhood to youth to old age, the body changes, but the soul is there. Okay, it just goes from that body, right? It's just the same body. As the body grows, the soul also goes. And same way, at the time of so-called death, tada dehandara prapti, the soul leaves the body and goes to another body. So whoever is wise need not be worried about this. Okay, so this is how the process happens. When we are born, we have a small baby body, and then we crawl, we walk, right? And we go to school, then we go to college, we get a job, and then we become old, right? Marry, you have kids, and then you become old, and then we die. So when we die, what happens? You can see the white thing here in the heart. The soul keeps going, right, from the boyhood to youth to old age. But what happens at the time of death? It leaves one body, goes to another body. So simple. I'll explain. So when you hear about death from Bhagavad Gita, it's very simple actually. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at the time of death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change, right? So if a person really knows this concept and understand it correctly, okay, applying Bhagavad Gita in life is very difficult. When situations comes in life, when we don't know what to do, we have to handle it by this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so death is an important thing which people are worried to face, but Krishna just takes every fear from everyone's heart by telling us we are spirit soul, we are not the body, and at the time of death, nothing happens to the soul, it just goes to another body. That's it. It's very simple. You can see here, as we grow, and then at the time of death, it goes to another body. So does the soul die? No, the soul doesn't die. Who is dying? The body is dying. Anyway, this body is going to die one day, right? The soul doesn't die. Okay, so this is a life cycle. Okay, so we are born, and then we grow, we stay for some time, we reproduce, and then we grow old, and we decline, and then we die, right? So I'll give a simple example. Okay, so when we are small, we have a tricycle, right? Something like this. And then when we come to 5th standard, 6th standard, we get a cycle, a two wheel cycle. Then in college, we take a 2-wheeler. Okay, when we go for work, we take a car. So who is driving these 4 vehicles? I. Okay, I was driving it. So did I change? No. The person who's driving is the same. Same way the soul is same. Our body is changed. It's growing. Okay, understood? The body is changing. Now, when this car is broken, something happened bad and it's not working anymore. I can't drive it anymore. What will I do? I buy a new car and then I shift myself into that new car, right? I start driving that car. Same way, at the time of death, when my body is useless, when my body's all the respiratory function and the heart and kidneys, everything fail, what happens? My body is no more to be used again. My soul leaves this body and takes another fresh new body. This is called death. Okay, so it's so simple to explain death in the aspect of Bhagavad Gita. And we have not got this only one life. Some people say Sat Janma, 7 life. No, Shastra says there's no reference for them, but Shastra as a Bhagavatam says we had 84 lakh species of life. We had gone through so many species of life. My soul was an animal. My soul was a bird. My soul was a plant. My soul was a human before. So, Chatur Lakshani Manava, there are 4 lakhs human species based on consciousness and form. You know, where Chinese, African, Indian, they all look different, right? Why? There are so many varieties in human beings and also based on consciousness. Okay, so that's why I tell you all are lucky, because coming to know Krishna, coming to Krishna consciousness, it's not a simple thing. It's after so many lifetime of punya, you come to know something about Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is how we do. We transmigrate through different species. Our soul transmigrate, okay, through different species. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tada dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na mohyati. So if an intelligent person understands that, oh, death is nothing but the soul leaves the body, goes to another body. If you understand that, then Arjuna don't have to be fearful. Oh, I'm killing my cousins. I'm killing my teachers. But Krishna is saying, no, you're just killing the body. You're not killing the soul. We learn the property of the soul. Okay. So this is a human life cycle. We take birth, then we grow, then we marry, we work, we mature, we have become seniors, old age, and then death. So these are the 4 main problems in life, and nobody can avoid them. Matra sparshasta kaunteya shidoshna sukha dukkhada agama paino nityas tamstidikshasva bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. Okay, so you've seen summer and winter. So in summer, we get a lot of mangoes and all, right? So many fruits are there. But later on, when it's cold, all the leaves are gone. So it keeps happening, right? Summers and winters. Same way, happiness and distress keeps coming and going. It's like same side of different side of the same coin. Okay. So Krishna says, if you're sad now, don't worry. It'll go. It'll go, and happiness will come. When you're happy now, sadness will come. So it keeps coming and going based on our karma, right? Based on our karma, it comes. So we don't have to be worried about all that. You should be staying calm in these situations. Happiness and sadness keeps coming and going. Na jayate mriyate va kadashin nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuya ajo nitya shashvadoyam purano nahanyade hanyamane sharire. For a soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. Is unborn, eternal, ever existing, Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So yesterday one Prabhu was asking me, I don't remember, Bhagavad Gita is like a song of God, and why you don't sing it? So this is how we sing, Prabhuji. So this is like meter 11 and Anushtup Chantas. It's like a Sanskrit meter where you sing the slokas. Actually, the whole slokas in Bhagavad Gita can be sung in different tunes, okay? So, but because we don't have time, but that's the right way of doing it. We should sing it. It's like a song. So that's how it's easy to learn also. It's not only mugging up the verses, understand the meaning. Not only understanding the meaning, applying it in your life. That's where your success is. When you apply Bhagavad Gita in your life, it's a practical knowledge book. It's a manual, life manual. You should apply it, right, in life. But it's a little tough. But yes, as we realize, as we advance, we realize it. Okay, so soul is neither born nor dead. So why Arjuna is lamenting, right? Arjuna is not going to kill anyone, and he is Satchidananda. He's unborn, eternal, ever existing. Okay, and another properties of soul, Krishna says, Vasamsi jirnani yada vihaya navani grinadi naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyadi navani dehi. So what happens when our dress becomes dirty? We change it, right? We change and put new clothes. Similarly, the body is like a dress for the Atma. Okay, so when it becomes dirty, we change to fresh clothes. So same way, as a person put on new garments, giving up old one, the soul similarly accepts new material body, giving up old and useless ones. Okay, so actually when a person is drowning, we should try to save him, not his dress or the coat which he wears. So our body is like a dress. Okay, so now I'm in this dress, tomorrow or next life I have another dress. So it depends. Okay, so we have gone through many life, but human life is very special. Why is human life special? Anyone knows? Vanshika, are you there, Vanshika?
Hello.
Yes.
ma'am. Human life is special because we can memorize Krishna. We can
Yes.
sing for them.
Yes.
And
So
can't.
yes, we can understand the truth in life, or we can inquire about us, right? We can ask these questions like, who am I? Why am I born in this family? Why am I not born as an Ambani's daughter or son? Why am I suffering in this life? I've not done any sin as far as my knowledge, this life, but why am I suffering? Is there punarjanma? What happens after death? Where does the person go after death? So all these questions, or who is God? What is our ultimate aim? How can we end the process of birth and death cycle? How can we get moksha? This is called Atato Brahma Jitnyasa. You want to know about things, and that is possible only in human form of life. So I'm requesting everyone, please do stay for 18 days, make your life successful. It's never lost, whatever you're doing now. Okay, each whatever you do in devotional life is counted. Okay, Krishna keeps the record. So this human form of life is so special that only in this human form of life we can end the process of birth and death cycle and go back to Krishna, or go back to Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan and be eternally happy there. No more birth and death. This material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's very full of miseries and problems. We don't want that, right? So we have to end the cycle and go back, and that's possible only in human form of life. Very good. Yes. So for that, we should understand first that we are soul, we are not the body. And the soul cannot be cut. Okay, this is a sloka. Nainam chintati shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, nachainam kledayantyapo, nashoshedi maruta. The soul can never be cut into pieces. So the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. So Arjuna is fighting, right? Arjuna is fighting with the Gandiva, the bow and arrow, and he is going to kill all the cousins. Now Krishna is saying, you can't cut first of all, they are not the body. The cousins which you see, they are not the body. They are actually the soul. And next Krishna says, they can't be cut into the pieces by any weapon. So when Arjuna put the Gandiva will, the bow and arrow, what happens? The material body is bleeding. The material body is getting damaged, not the soul, because soul can never be cut into pieces, nor it can be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. Okay, so soul is eternal, Satchit Ananda. Okay, that's why there's a reason why suicide is not allowed in the Shastras. Anyone knows reason why suicides are not allowed in the Shastras? I want new persons to come up. Always just try. Yes,
Unmuted, Mataji. Rashmi, Mataji.
I can't. Yes.
Unmute means Hare Krishna Mataji. Unmute.
Yes.
Suicide means weakness. It shows the weakness. So
yeah. So why is it a sin to do suicide? Why is it papa? Is it right to do?
No, it's not right to do, Papa.
Yeah.
Because God has given us this life to face the challenges. And we must remember the God, you know. So this is what I think so.
Okay. Next person, anyone else has any idea? Very nice. Anyone else?
Jayanti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
God has decided when we should end our life. The
Ah.
death is predetermined. We cannot end our life when the soul does
Yes.
not reach the
Yes.
Vaikunda or the
Yes.
Naraka as per the deeds.
Yes, it doesn't go back. Very good. It won't get moksha. Very good. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, suicide is Papa because the God has given us this life to do all the good things and worship Him and chant the Hare Krishna mantra.
That's a cute explanation. Very nice. Okay. So, yes. So, all were right. Okay. Now, so what Shastra says, we got the human form of life. Okay. So, if I am supposed to live for 50 years and I end my life at 30, or I do suicide at 30, next 20 years, what will I do? My soul doesn't have a body, become ghost. So, there is ghost actually. But it won't harm you if you chant Hare Krishna. Okay. So ghosts are those souls which don't have a material body. The material nature will never give you a human life after that. This is the punishment. You have got the human form of life and you're wasting it. Suicide is not a solution to any of our problems, because we take a karma where the soul leaves the body and goes to another body. The karma also goes with it. Right? The Paramatma, Atma, and the karma goes. So if I'm not able to suffer my problems in this life and I end my life, I'm not free from the problem. My soul goes to another mother's womb and I take birth again and I suffer again. I have to suffer for all my papas, right? So this process will happen. And not only that, I get a punishment that I won't be given a human body again. I'll go to Nija Janma, I'll go to animal life. And again, it takes millions of years to come to human form of life. Again, as Mataji told, we won't get moksha, we can't go back. Right? So it's such a difficult situation to handle. So why this suicide? So this has to be avoided. So that's why we request that Bhagavad Gita should be introduced for children and for schools and colleges, where we have seen so many people getting depressed and going for psychiatric treatment. Why? They're not able to handle situations in life. They're not able to, their mind is not strong enough, okay, because they've been not trained in such a way. Okay, so Krishna gives all the advice to us that this human form of life is very rare and we should not lament for anything in this life. Now, there's a story of Chitraketu Maharaj in Bhagavatam, 6th canto. So I'll tell it in short. What happened? There was a king called Chitraketu and he had many wives, okay, but he didn't get a son. He because, when the kings, they need sons to hand over the kingdom, right? So he was not having a son. So he prayed and prayed and prayed. And finally, Angira Muni and Narad Muni got blessed him. And then he got a baby, okay? And they told the baby will be the cause for your lamentation also. Then he's like, it's okay. And the baby was named Harsha Shogan. Harsha means happiness. Shogan means sadness. So the baby will give both happiness and sadness. And then the baby was born. So the baby was born from the first wife. So naturally, he was so attached to the first wife and he neglected all other wives. And what did the all other wives do? They gave poison to the baby and the baby died. Okay, the baby left the body, the soul left the body. And the king was so depressed and started crying and lamenting and he didn't know what to do. He was fully hopeless. He didn't know what to do. Narad Muni again came. And what did Narad Muni do? He brought back the soul to the baby. And the baby got up and the baby started speaking. Like the Narad Muni told, this is your father. And then the baby asked, father? In which janma? Which life he was my father? Then Chitraketu Maharaj realized, oh, this is all temporary. All my relations, my body relations, my bank balance and my educations and everything is temporary in this material life, right? When my soul leaves my body, I don't take anything. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Death will take everything from you. You can't tell Yamaraj, please wait. Huh? My daughter didn't get married. Okay. And then Yamaraj comes next year. And oh, my daughter got married, but she's waiting for her first baby. And then Yamaraj comes again. Oh, the second baby. Oh, let the baby get married again. Then it keeps going. Our desires keeps going. It's endless. We are not never ready to leave. But when Yamaraj comes, Yamasya Karuna Nasti, he doesn't have any mercy. He takes us, right? So when the time comes, we have to definitely go. So Alexander the Great, when he left the body, he kept both his hands out of the coffin, by saying that I never take anything. We don't even take this dress, or we don't even take our body when we go. The soul goes, right? So then Chitraketu Maharaj realized, oh, these are all temporary things. And he started doing his dharma, started doing devotional service to Krishna. And then he got moksha, liberation. So when the soul leaves the body, we should not be bewildered. Okay? That is the first lesson we learned from Bhagavad Gita. Jatisya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mridasya cha tasmat apariharyerte natvam shochitum arhasi. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, punarabi jananam, punarabi maranam, punarabi jagari janani shaina. Whoever has taken birth will die. Whoever had died will take birth again. So why are we lamenting? If our parents, if our ancestors or grandparents have died or they left the body, they are sure to take a birth again, unless they got moksha. Unless they do devotional service to Krishna, go back to Krishna. Yes, there are people who goes to samadhi, right? By sitting, their life goes from the, there are 9 openings in the body, and then it goes from the head over here. So they have in samadhi. Yes, so there are people who leave the body like that. And whatever we think at the time of death, we attain that. Okay, that will come in the next chapters. But just understand that whoever have died will take a birth again, rebirth, unless they get moksha. And whoever have taken birth will definitely die. All of us, might be today or tomorrow or some years, but death is unavoidable. Okay, we can't avoid it. But we don't have to be worried. So when Arjuna is lamenting how to kill Bhishma Dev, oh, he's so, my great-grandfather Bhishma Pitamaha. So what to do? But Krishna is saying, anyway, Bhishma is getting old in the material body. If you kill him also, he get a new body, fresh body, or he might get moksha. Bhishma Pitamaha, when he was lying in Sharashaya, he was seeing Krishna, he chanted Vishnu Sahasranam, and he left his body. He got moksha, right? He's a pure devotee of the Lord. So that's how we should not lament. Okay, and Krishna says attachments will be there. When our near and dear ones leave the body, when they die, yes, it's shocking for us, and it takes time for us to adjust, or that emotional bonding is there. It's not like we laugh and we jump around. No, that emotions will be there. We cry, we feel bad. But Krishna is saying, don't be depressed. Get out of it. I've seen people, when husband dies, the wife is in shock. She don't cry, she don't eat, she don't sleep. She's like fully depressed, right? We have seen people like that landing up into psychiatric department. They can't overcome it. But Krishna says, you lament, that's okay. That emotional attachment will be there, but try to overcome it. Face death as a normal process in life. Dehi nityam avadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitam arhasi. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So, don't cry for anything. Okay. So, Krishna is motivating. Krishna is the first motivational speaker ever, right? He gives such a motivation class, right? About speaking about the soul and making Arjuna ready to fight. Hato va prakshasi swargam jitva va bokshase mahim tasmat uddishta kamteya yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. What is Arjuna saying? Krishna is saying, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed in the battlefield. Okay, 2 things can happen to Arjuna. Either he will be killed. So if he is killed, where will Arjuna go? To heaven, because he has done punya. Or if you win, then you can enjoy the earthly kingdom. So therefore, get up and fight with determination. I'll explain this to you. Okay. Now Krishna is saying two things. Arjuna, either you lose. If Arjuna lose, what will happen? All the Pandavas and Arjuna will die. Okay. Their material body dies. And the soul, they go to heaven. Because they have done so much punya, they are in dharma side, they go to heaven and they enjoy in heaven. Okay, that is one enjoyment. Second thing, if he wins, then what happens? He gets the kingdom, and Yudhishthira become the king. Arjuna also can enjoy the kingdom, right? So Krishna is breaking all the points. So first thing, Arjuna was compassionate. Oh, how can I kill my cousins? And Krishna told, they are not the body, they are spirit soul. You can't cut the soul with any weapon. So fight, Arjuna, don't lament. Second thing, oh, how can I enjoy without them? No enjoyment. But Krishna says, you can enjoy, Arjuna. If you win, you get the kingdom. If you lose, you go to heaven. Okay, so and Arjuna don't fight, then people will tell you all bad things. They will scorn your ability. What could be more painful to you? See, Arjuna is hiding, and people will say, oh, he's so covered, darpok. No, nobody should call Arjuna like that. So Krishna is saying, you fight, okay? And whatever you do, small things in devotional service is never lost. Neho vikramanasosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya prayate mahadopayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss. A little advancement you do in this path can protect you from most dangerous type of fear. Okay? Yeah. So what happens? Whatever we do in this life. Okay. So, okay, let me ask a question now. So we have done some education in this life. So next life, can we start from where we stopped? Like I've done my, just imagine I've done my MBBS this life. So can I start from PG life next Janma, or should I start from LKG? Hare Krishna, Roshan Prabhu, welcome.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji,
Can we start?
you will start from LKG.
We have to start from LKG, right? But what about devotion life? What about praying to Krishna and learning Bhagavad Gita? Should we start from beginning? No. Krishna says, wherever you stop, you can start from next life. Why? Because this Bhagavad Gita, this chanting is done by the soul. You think your body is chanting? No. It's actually your soul is doing it. The food for the soul is devotional activities. And unless you do it, we can't get moksha. Only in human form of life, you get moksha. So I told about going to heaven, right? So people asked me, does heaven and hell really exist? It's actually people who makes it heaven and hell. That is different. But heaven and hell do exist. There are heavenly planets. There are hellish planets. Tomorrow I'll show you Govinda chart from Bhagavatam, which says, where is Govinda? Where is Vaikuntha? Where is Sadashiva Loka? Okay, and then where is Bhumi or Earth? What are the 14 planetary system? Which are the heavenly planets? Which are the hellish planets? All this will be discussed tomorrow. Okay, so yes, if you go to heaven, you punya, you go to heaven. You do papa, you go to hell. But you go there, you definitely have to come to Earth. Only from Earth we can get moksha. Okay, that's why Earth is very special. We are born in Earth. We are born in a human life. And we also are in Kali Yuga, and the most easiest way in Kali Yuga is to chant the holy name of God and go back to Krishna. And by learning Bhagavad Gita, we learned yesterday in Gita Mahatmya, right? We can go back to Krishna. So any small service you do, don't think your 1 hour is wasted. Oh, I could have watched movie, I could have watched a match. Why simply I'm wasting time for this Bhagavad Gita? It's not a waste. It's always your permanent bank balance, which is never lost even after, it continues your life after life. So please don't just neglect this rare opportunity which you got. Okay, you don't know what is waiting for you. Okay, so it's so special to learn something about Bhagavad Gita. And there is a story of a small squirrel. So what happened when Lord Ram was building the Sedu Bandhan, that bridge? What happened? Hanuman and all the monkeys were helping him build the bridge, right? There was a small squirrel who was just taking a small pebble with his hand, just rolling it to the pond, to the river, so you to the sea. So you think he can build a bridge? No, but this one Hanuman just took the squirrel and threw it, and Lord Ram came and took the squirrel and was so compassionate, and he told him, you are doing what is possible for you. So same way, we may not be able to memorize slokas and all that, but still, whatever is possible, you start doing. They start reading Bhagavad Gita, okay? So that small service you do, it will give you a lot of benefit. And Hanuman, what did Hanuman do? His tail was on fire, but still he went to Lanka and burned the whole Lanka. That's the devotional service he did. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam tyabahruda chedasa vyavasayatmika buddhi samadauna vidiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. So if you're too attached to material things, then we can't do devotion. Okay, we are always like behind money, 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 and then we are so depressed if we don't get it. So if you are too much attached to sense things, sense objects, then we can't have proper devotion. Dhyayeto vishayan pumsan sangastage bhajayate sangat sanjayate kama kama krodho vijayate. While contemplating the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachments, lust develops, and from lust, anger. So contemplating means desiring. Okay, oh, I want a phone, I want a phone, and I want a phone. I got a phone. And after getting the phone, I want a better version. Oh, I want Apple iPhone. And the desires goes on and on. And if I don't get it, what happens? I become angry, right? So this is how things are. We get attached, we have desires, we get attached. Then from attachment, we lusty, okay, more and more. And from there, anger develops. If we don't get something, you are angry. So this is how things will meet, and there is lust, and then okay, they come closer. But then if something goes wrong, they fight, and the anger comes, and people do what not when they are angry, right? Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. From memory, when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So what happens when you're angry, then you're deluded, and your intelligence and memory, everything is lost. You've heard brothers fight together, they kill someone. All this is happening. Why? Because the anger. So we have to control them. And the control of the anger and all these is possible and only if you take to devotional services. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu vishayan indriyascharan atmavash vasyer videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. But a person free from all attachments and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So we should try to control our senses. Okay. So yesterday we learned something. Who is the master of sense? What is that term called? Anyone knows? Master of the senses. Yes. Master of sense. What is the meaning?
Rishikesha.
Yeah, who is Rishikesha?
Krishna.
Krishna is called Rishikesha, master of senses. Very good. So if you want to control your senses, engage your senses in the service of the master of senses, Rishikesha Sevana. So that's what Prabhupada used to do. Always we have a karma to do. Students have to study, others have to go to work. We have a family life. Everything is there. Let it go. Whichever profession you are following, let you do it. Okay, you be good at your profession, you do everything. Same time, have some spiritual life, spiritual qualities in you, be pious and do some spiritual activities in life. You need to balance your life, right? You need to have it. Because if you don't have spiritual life at all, then you don't know when you're going to get a human life after so many years. Don't spoil human form of life, right? This is an opportunity to go back to Krishna, to get moksha. So it's possible only through devotional service. And in Netherlands, this is a law that the Dutch students are having Bhagavad Gita in their classes. I hope it comes in India one day. At least this chapter, the second chapter, be introduced to the teenagers
because they are going through a stage of puberty, which is very difficult, right? All the mood fluctuations, and I hope there will be many teenagers in your houses. You know how it is tough to handle them. But small thing is enough for them. They get so angry and depressed and they suicide. So many things have happened. We know how the rates of suicide is increasing in our country. But this is because they don't know the value of human life. They think we are like cats and dogs. What is the difference between animals and us? Animals also eat. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Aharam, nidra, bhayam, maidunam cha. They also sleep, we sleep. They eat, we eat. Everything is the same. But what is that difference? We can do dharma. We can inquire about God. We can understand Bhagavad Gita in human form of life. So if it is introduced in schools and colleges, at least the soul chapter, that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. The soul can never be cut into pieces. It transmigrate, so-called death. Okay, so this is a takeaway lesson that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and the soul is situated in the heart along with the Paramatma, the super soul. And we can't see the soul because the Shastra, it is given Keshagra. That means 1 by 10,000, the size of tip of the hair. And any small service you do to Krishna is never lost. So please do chant. And I will introduce this chanting tomorrow. Okay, so this is the mantra to go back to Krishna in a quick way. Okay, ticket back to Godhead or ticket back to Krishna in Kali Yuga. There are different processes in different yuga. We are in Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, the prescribed method is chanting the holy name of Krishna. It's not different from Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare